Right. Vlogging in the car again. Ninja V Rode Video Mic Pro Sony A7S II, and I've got the face detect turned on because I am not recording internally to the camera. So hopefully I can get better battery life. The quality seems to be good, and face detect focus is just a better way to go, I think. I guess this is sort of a test to see how face detect is going to do while I'm driving, because big pain about this camera has pretty much always been when I try to record something while driving. I've got to stop looking at the monitor. When I record while driving, it always wants to get what's happening in the background and not the face. And it's that kind of thing that's preventing me from making videos, because I don't know. Also, another thing is flipping the monitor I have on top back and forth. When with this internal record shut off, I actually have the screen on the back of the camera too. So that's nice. It's a nice little bonus that I didn't know would happen. So I guess I'm gonna drive and see how this face detection does. It's probably not gonna work with glasses on, but I'm just gonna drive a little bit. Probably dangerous to do driving a stick, but not so much traffic around. It's another thing. It's hard for me to figure out is do I want to keep all that sky back there, 'cause I'm losing a lot of it, or do I want to make my face pretty dark but maintain the highlights in the sky behind me? Because I'm surely not going to put a light on my face in my car while I'm driving and vlogging. That'd be a real bad idea. I guess all I can do is just lose the sky back there and this part of my cheek. Alright. Seems to be focusing pretty good. Let's jack it up to F2. Yeah. Now it's up to F2, and it's a pretty shallow depth of field when it's in F2, and seems to be working pretty well. Yeah, face detect seems to be working pretty good. Alright, I'm here trying this setup out now, and just wondering if it's gonna work. This window behind me is very bright, and just trying to test out whether or not focusing and walking and things like that are going to work. To make sure this can see me. Kind of wondering if this is a viable at all vlog setup, since focusing is an issue on these things. But it would be nice to have very still or very locked down type footage for these vlogs, instead of having the camera flying all over the place. But I also like to have the little Ninja flame recorder on here too, and or the Ninja V rather, not really the Ninja Flame. And she kind of just a little, seems a little heavy for it with the seems a little heavy for it with the microphone on top of it and everything. I think it'll just go a little better if I had a little thinner and longer HDMI cable to put on it, and also a different way to mount the microphone. I mean, it's heavy. It's not too heavy, so the weight of it for me really isn't the biggest issue. It's just staying in focus is the biggest thing, which seems like it's doing pretty well, actually. And being able to put the thing down. And I think I've solved the problem with having to flip this screen back and forth. I'll just keep the Ninja V screen facing out, and with the internal recording turned off of the camera, the back screen on the camera stays on too. So that makes it possible for me to flip the camera over fairly easily and get, yep, there we go. And get shots like this fairly quickly, fairly easily, if the whole rig just doesn't start to go ape shit on me. It is. I can turn it around and get other shots. I am testing this. Okay. Now I've got the camera in shutter priority, or aperture priority. So I control the aperture. And the camera will control the shutter speed. and I've got the microphone dangling in a very crappy way off of the Ninja V. And this is a little extra weight we don't need right now. And having that having the Rode in TG having the Rode Video Mic Pro off seems to be doing a lot of good. Figure out what mode I want this in. Of course, things are pulling on things where I don't want them to. But Keeling M taking it all pretty well. Keeling M, whatever you want to call it, seems to be taking all the punishment pretty well. But she's heavy, and I just need a better way to put this monitor on, a better way to put this mic on, better way for the monitor, better way for the mic. Better and Jesus, I just need to be able to put this monitor on this without that bracket. Really, it's the biggest issue. Let's do this hallway test. Good. Now, I'm going to try to do it on a side that doesn't have a mirror. Very sloppy, and with kind of a lot of obstacles in my way. So let's go the other way. Oh, shit. Oh. All right. So obviously going front is better or easier than going backwards. But I think that looked pretty good. In fact, I think it looked really good. A lot of shit in my way. And kind of a narrow thing. But I think, what we really need is a follow focus. If you want to control that, definitely. Well, this may work out. Right. Nope. Alright. Another attempt at this log thing. I think I've got a sort of. I think I've got a sort of solution for this gimbal setup. Kind of got the Rode video mic stuffed down here a little bit, but this this should work for now until I can get some other mounts and things. So this probably is the way I'm going to be flying this thing until I get something better. And maybe foolishly going to attempt to fly this thing in the car today. But I'm really trying to do is see how long this whole setup is going to last. How long the battery life's going to last on this gimbal. Alright, here we go. I guess this is the first. Shit. Take those off. First official flight. First official flight. The Sony A7S II on the Kylan M. Going to see a going to look at a little townhouse that we might buy. Going to look at a little townhouse that we might buy, fix up, and live in. Kind of chilly. I can't really focus on what I'm saying because this thing is, oh Jesus. Can't really focus on what to say right now because I'm too focused on this thing. Okay, now the face detect is failing me a little bit, but it got me again. That's good. Figure out how to fly this thing, this bracket on. I am at F2, which is very, I am at F2 and I can see how that's hard. I can see how that's hard for this thing to get. I do not. I'm also not driving a stick today. But I also forgot my phone. Yeah. Okay, so this face detect is failing me a little bit today. So I might have to take it to 3.5 or even 4 whilst I'm driving. That was pretty good. Well, this is we'll go 3.5. 3.5, which make it a tiny bit of a deeper depth of field. Maybe easier for this thing. I think that's 2, which looks a bit prettier, but not if this thing is going to be struggling the whole time to keep me in focus. And this is 2.8. Come on. Come on. All you gotta do is keep this in focus. This is a face. 2.8 looks good. That might be where I keep it. Okay, neighborhood. I've got the gimbal on in the car with the camera on it. Figured I'd take it with today. Of course, it's not. It's about to break my wrist though, holding it up. Here at the Bridge Street. Didn't really drive much with this thing. Couldn't. Roads were too busy. Gonna have to break this thing down because it is the holiday season and it's the season where things. It's the season where things get stolen. So I don't know if I'll. I don't know if I'm gonna put this out. I don't know if I'm comfortable with vlogging again yet, but we'll see. Pretty